And we back. 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 Hey.
Week 8. It's been a kind of crazy week. Sasun is no longer at the bottom of the leaderboard. You actually worked your way up 2 spots.
Starting the streak, I told you guys.
We actually only have 5 more games in the regular season before playoffs start, so it's gonna go by quick. But yeah, Quentin can't join today. Something came up, so again, it'll be Sasun and I running the ship. Nitin versus Mar, if you have that open.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't think that Nitin's put in his kicker yet, but it doesn't matter. We can still go through this. So just starting from the top.
Actually, I don't think he's put in a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I see Justin Jefferson and Hurts on the bench, and those are for sure starters.
Yeah. We can assume that those guys are going to
Those guys are going to be in.
Yeah, JJ, Hurts, and Breece Hall is going to be out. So let's just. He probably doesn't even know who he's putting in yet, but it might be someone like.
We could, because Jeff Wilson could probably.
Yeah, I think Jeff Wilson's going to get. Yeah, Jeff Wilson will get slotted where Breece is, and probably Boyd will get slotted into flex. So it'll be something like that. Okay, so just from the top, then I'm going to assume Jalen Hurts versus Geno. And if you had asked me at the beginning of the season, I would have probably said Hurts by a landslide. Like, why is Geno even starting? That's troll. Now that you tell me, I'm still gonna go Hurts, but I do think Geno keeps it pretty close, especially because he's going against the Giants, which, like, even though they've been playing well, I think that they still have some inexploitable defense. So I think Geno's going to keep it rolling, probably drop over 20 points, but obviously Hurts has been crazy still. So even with the bye week, he's still top 5 quarterback. I'm going to go Hurts.
I'm going to go with Hurts too, but Geno Smith is going to keep it close. I don't see anything higher than a 10-point differential between the two QBs. But yeah, man, running QBs, ridiculous.
Yeah. And then running backs. I got a feel for Nitin. Losing Breece Hall kind of sucks, and it seems like he hasn't come to terms yet with dropping him. So yeah, rest in peace. But like we said, probably Jeff Wilson's gonna get slotted there. But I don't care who you slot there. Aaron Jones plus whoever else Nitin has, in my opinion, is not gonna overcome Chubb. And Tony Pollard isn't like really great, but Chubb's enough to carry any running back core. So I'm gonna go Mar on that.
I agree, and Green Bay is not doing the job of getting Aaron Jones the ball. He's actually seeing the ball a little less than last year, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And he's also going against Buffalo, which is not looking too good.
That's a good defense. That's a good defense for sure.
So I'm definitely taking Mar's side with the Chubb.
Pause. All right, receivers then though. So, like you pointed out, Justin Jefferson's gonna work his way in there somewhere. Probably.
So let's say CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson here, and we'll put Myers in the flex.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll let you go first on this one. What do you think?
So Jamar Chase and Waddle versus CeeDee Lamb and Justin Jefferson. Oof. Jamar Chase had a really good game last week. Really good game. And looks like Tua's making his way back, and Waddle's going to be showing people why he's ranked top 10. I think he's still going to be easing his way in. He's not going to have like a 40-point game, but he's going to have a solid 15-point game. And Justin Jefferson against Arizona, I feel like that's going to be a big game, especially with Hopkins back. So I'm calling it right now. Might go to overtime. But the main difference is CeeDee Lamb. Out of these 4 receivers, he's the one that's the sore thumb.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Nitin's receivers are lacking. in potential.
Yeah, I 100% agree pretty much with everything you said. I don't know about the bold overtime call. That's a yeah, that's a strong one. I don't know if I can agree with you there, but otherwise, yeah, I think CD's the clear like outlier here. Jalen Waddle, if he's ready to go, he has a really nice matchup against Detroit, so he's probably going to drop big numbers. And yeah, Jamar and JJ will probably keep it close, like in terms of like just them going against each other. But Waddle probably outscores Lamb here. So yeah, I'm gonna go Mar again. So far, it's seeming like Mar's got the position groups over Nitin. Yeah, and then just let's just look at tight end and flex as a whole here. So you got like Fant, Amari Cooper, and probably Jacoby Myers
Yeah.
versus Schultz, Debo, and Godwin. The only thing that's kind of making me nervous about Mar's side here, and not just like me immediately picking Mar, is just the questionables. Like I don't know how like heavy the injuries are. Schultz hasn't been like as good as probably what you thought he was going to be. But I do think that the Niners offense is a little bit better. Well, definitely better with CMC, and that kind of is going to open up the receiving game for Debo a little bit more. So I do like Debo here. I don't like Godwin. I don't like Jacoby Myers for Nitin. So I think it's going to be pretty close. Like none of these guys like really stand out to me, but I think it's going to come down to Debo versus Amari. And like I said, I do think that Debo's opportunities go up just a little bit with CMC coming. So I'm going to give a slight edge to Mar in this department.
I actually have the opposite of Debo. I think his rushing is for sure down.
Yeah.
With CMC, especially that was his like first week. Less than a week being on a team. You can get eased into it, and Debo didn't score that well. Godwin, even though Brady had a shit game, Godwin still got 7 targets for 43 yards. And between Schultz and Fant, I had a lot of hope for Schultz during the season, but even with Dak back, it's big question mark. Noah Fant, I think this guy is droppable now because he used to get the dump offs from Geno, but since Walker has been the starter, it's basically he's getting the dump offs. He's getting all those, I don't have anyone open. I'm just going to throw it to Walker.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper's really good. And in the long run, especially when Watson comes back, amazing. But I think he's just going to have a mediocre game. And Jacoby Myers against the Jets, again, I think like a mediocre game. And you have a new QB, I believe. Am I wrong? Zap is starting?
Yeah, I think so.
So that's a very big dice roll.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a really good play the first play he got in, but then he started choking after that. So in the end, I'll go with Mar.
Okay, so overall, yeah, I'm gonna still go Mar. I think that besides quarterback, Mar pretty much has it in every single position, and I think he has pretty nice matchups with, Geno against the Giants, Waddle against the Lions. Like I think that there's some key spots that Mar just like ends up scoring a bunch. And as sad as it is for me to give the dub to another person in the West Division, yeah, I'm gonna have to lean to Mar. What about you?
I am also going with Mar, but Nitin, prove me wrong.
Yes.
Prove me wrong with my prediction right now. I
did.
hope in 5 days I could come back and say I was wrong. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for giving this guy in my division L and a 1 step closer.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yeah, definitely good luck to Nitin. Next up, I got Jonny and Zay. Okay, so yeah, overall in this matchup, I've already taken a look at these two teams. I do think that Zay's team has looked strong at points, but also vulnerable. And last week, Jonny, Johnny's team, like his stars really shat the bed. Like Lamar, Mark Andrews, they just didn't perform for him besides Eckler. So I think this week those stars for Johnny kind of rebound, and this is why I think that Johnny's going to take the matchup. So overall, I have Johnny here. Like if I just look across the board, like I just said, I think Lamar and Mark Andrews bounce back. They're going to have a big game. It's going to have to be a big game against the Bucs for multiple reasons, but mainly because I think Baltimore knows that they're going to like quickly slip away from, like, the division's going to run away from them if they don't like go all out now. So I think they're going to get more creative with their offensive play calling, and those guys are going to go off for Johnny. James Conner, I think that I never really have been a fan of him overall, but I think that, like, if he is healthy and good to go, we saw like what Eno did in that offense, and so James Conner has that same kind of potential if he's healthy, but that's a big if. So this week I think that it is going to be like a committee, so I don't like Johnny's running backs there. And for Zay, like, Dameon Pierce has been like surprisingly good, and like I can't shit on that. Like, I don't know if you've watched him, but I think that like he's shown some flashes of like being really solid, and he's like worked his way almost into a top 10 running back out of nowhere, and playing for Houston. Like usually,
right?
usually I don't have faith in those guys. But yeah, I mean, Kyler's gonna do what Kyler does. You already called them going to overtime, so I think he's gonna have a solid game, but I don't know about the overtime thing, like I said before. And then also for Zay though, like in the flex, like D-Hop came back strong, like way stronger than I think most of us expected, which is kind of crazy. He's like, I like just like to come off of the suspension and just drop right in and score in the 20s is nuts. And then Ramondre also, I don't like Patriots offense, but he's been solid. So
amazing, man, so amazing.
Overall, like I do think that Johnny's superstars bounce back, and that's what ends up giving him the edge. But I do like Zay's. I think Zay's team is way more balanced, and like my instinct would tell me to go with Zay, but like I just think this is one of those weeks that Johnny pulls it off, and it's the upset, and his stars like really carry him even with Eckler out. So what do you think?
Look, I don't think Lamar is going to bounce back, because last season this guy was focusing more on throwing, and then this year, after losing one of his top wide receivers, he started running again.
Yeah.
So now the defense, what they're doing is they're playing around Lamar and stopping his runs. That's why after week 3, stop dropping 40 points. I don't think he's going to have any of those games anymore. I think it's less common now, and if it does happen, it's an anomaly. Kyler Murray, I favor him over Lamar right now, anytime. So with James Conner, if he gets that usage, and if he's healthy, I think he's going to be scoring more than what he was before, because DeAndre Hopkins, I feel like, is going to get them down the field.
That's true. Yeah.
Najee Harris is going against the Eagles. I'm barely seeing 10 points coming out of him.
You fade everyone that goes against the Eagles defense, I swear, bro. Every week you're like, Eagles defense, fuck this guy.
Yeah, it is. It's true.
No, it's a good point for sure.
And Dameon Pierce, amazing guy, like you said.
Yeah.
Atlanta running back, I mean, last 2 games, not that bad, but really not reliable. Same with McLaurin and BA. BA's been going off the last 2 games too.
Yep.
But I don't like any of those receivers whatsoever. Devontae Adams is very solid, especially having DeAndre Hopkins too, with Stevenson in the flex as well against Eagles tight end. And Robinson. That's very laughing matter. But he doesn't have Travis Kelce this year.
Hey,
this week.
You laugh at Goddard, but he's technically still he's higher than Fearman.
He's high.
He's higher than the Fearman.
He's high. He's up there. But I mean, it just shows how down bad you are.
Yeah,
and keep in mind, he doesn't have the Eckler dropping around 20, 30 points a game.
Yeah.
So even with all that being said, I'm gonna go with Zay
Yeah.
on this.
I
Johnny, please prove me wrong. Do some voodoo magic shit. I don't care what you gotta do. I'll give you one of my big toes. I don't care.
Yeah, it's crazy
Eat
to me
'em.
because I see these West teams and I just think, damn, like these teams are actually pretty stacked. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty sad. Okay, so you got Zay, I got Johnny. My matchup, me versus Madhav. So, yeah, you would think that playing against a 1-6 team would be a walk in the park, but I don't think it's gonna go that way. And I do think that Madhav is slightly overprojected, especially considering he doesn't have his tight end in there yet. But I am like overall like, yeah, I take Madhav in this matchup, and I'll go into why. So for me, firstly, Keenan and Herb both on bye. Like Keenan probably wouldn't have played anyway. He fucked me last week. Played 5 snaps, left the game because he reignited the hammy. But yeah, like that's kind of a big deal for me. But I do think the Kirk Cousins is kind of like underrated this season because he has Justin Jefferson to like carry him like in the receiving yards department. So I think that is decent, but like I still think that Tua is gonna outplay him, especially with Tyreek's good to go. Running backs though, I actually like, as scary as Madhav's running backs look, I think that CMC is having kind of like a slow start in the Niners offense, and I do think he's gonna pick it up this week, but I don't think he's gonna be like firing on all cylinders just yet. And he is going against the Rams defense, which is a pretty solid run D. So I do think that CMC is still gonna have like a step back, but Saquon is gonna have a big day against Seattle. I don't know if he's gonna drop 25 like his projected points, but still definitely gonna be great. But it is big that I got like Dalvin and DeAndre back, so I think my running backs keep it close, but sadly Madhav's still outscore me. And yeah, I think that just like not having Keenan and Madhav having like Chris Olave, who's still been like, he's been good. He has I would call it a favorable matchup against the Raiders this week. Yeah, and when Madhav puts in his tight end, which might be actually it looks like Njoku is injured, so he'll have to probably start Isaiah Likely. But yeah, overall I just like think that Madhav's team, as bad as his record is pretty solid. Like there's not that many weaknesses that I could see from here. And a storyline that people may have like not talked about much is Travis Etienne with James Robinson leaving. I think he's gonna have a big role, so I'm gonna sadly have to go Madhav here, which is good news for you. But what do you think in this matchup?
So I'm happy to see Wan'Dale Robinson in your starting lineup. First of all, Madhav. QBs, I'll go with Tua, even though he's coming back. Now you have both Dalvin and Swift coming back from not playing.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be limited. Madison's going to be taking about like 50-60% of the workload. And Swift is not going to get like those high workloads. But CMC also is kind of in the same situation where he's getting eased into the offense. Now, you made a good point that he's going against the Rams, but Saquon, he's projected 25, but he's going to drop 20. So I feel like Saquon is kind of going to offset your running backs a little bit, majority of it, sorry. And CMC is going to just be like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
And then Devontae Smith, and Pittman. What the hell's going on in Indiana?
No idea with the quarterback situation, bro. Like, that'll be interesting to see.
Same with the Saints. I mean, Chris Olave, and they said that Winston is healthy, but I highly doubt it. You break some of your vertebrae. I don't think you ever come back from that.
Yeah.
You can never move the same, but I take Brown over Smith, and I'll take Olave over Pittman. Now, tight end, no matter who he puts in there, I'm going with Zach Ertz.
Yeah. Also,
Robert Woods, yeah.
I was just gonna say, quick aside, like the Pittman thing to me is like up in the air because it could go one of two ways. One, weaker quarterback play, Pittman's production drops, or two, young new quarterback feeds the best receiver on his team because like young quarterbacks tend to just like target the shit out of their favorite receiver. And even though I don't think that's good for the offense, I think it may be good for Pittman from a fantasy perspective. Like for some reason, like those quarterbacks just like have their go-tos. So I like it could potentially swing the upside for me. So we'll see though. I think that saying Olave outscores him still is fair.
Oh, I guess we gotta make a little side bet on that because I think Olave's gonna go off. Travis Etienne, my God,
No
wow,
bias
you
there.
got a blessing. You got a blessing,
Yeah, that
Madhav.
is-
I don't want to hear you complain. Robert Woods, I don't like him. But enough said. He's done enough damage to me. Robinson on Washington dropped 12 points and then 13 points. I like that, but again with Washington, they spread the ball so much and they're not even a high-scoring offense.
Yeah.
So I don't like that matchup. Overall,
I think he's going to continue to get touches though. Like he's come back from the gunshot wounds and already taken the starting role. So like I think as he warms up, he might end up being like Antonio Gibson when Antonio Gibson was like a top 10 back. So that's the upside I see, but we'll like still definitely a long way to go.
yeah, I mean, look, I agree with you that he's a starter. He's a better back, but I just don't like the offense and the way they work around the offense.
Yeah.
You spread it around, and there's not enough balls to go around.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, I'm gonna take Madhav.
Yeah. That's fair. Nate versus Quen. I'll let you go first on this one because I went first on the last two. So what do you think in this matchup?
Daniel Jones. It might seem surprising, but he's top 10 QB
That is very
against
surprising.
Brady, the fucking walking dinosaur that's rated number 11.
Fucking dinosaur.
This could go one or two ways. If Tampa picks their shit up and Seattle's going against the Giants, the Giants are going against Seattle, which they don't have a big defense on. Man, this is a toss-up for me. They're both mediocre to me.
Yeah, go on.
Now, Derrick Henry against Houston. This is the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's going to be dropping the fucking points. David Montgomery, however, is dog. He's going to get you 12 points. Michael Carter, you got lucky with that Breece Hall shit, Nate. You got lucky. I don't know what God you've been praying to, but he's been answering your prayers. I think he's going to have a great game. Now, Mostert, Jesus Christ, this guy is inconsistent. You're either getting 7 points or 20 points. And I think since they're going against the Lions, it's getting 7 points because they're going to be throwing it to those wide receivers and they're going to be getting it in the end zone for 30 yards. Yeah. Now, this is where your players come in. Cup and Diggs.
Big time.
I mean, that's 1 and 2 right there. I don't have to say much.
Yeah.
Lazard. Oh, my God. Being the first option and not being able to even average 15 points is kind of scary.
Yeah.
DJ Moore. Fuck, bro. You're down bad. Come to my fucking office.
Very down bad. Those receivers are trash, Quinn. Just saying. And also, side note, I don't want to like shit on Zay, but damn, the Packers also look terrible. Like, fuck. They're losing to bad teams. Like, it's looking bad out there.
Really bad. Now, Kittle against Hurst. I'm going to take Hurst on this one. I think Kittle's going to be doing more blocking again.
Interesting.
Especially with CMC in there. And Is Metcalf playing? I don't think
Questionable.
he's healthy enough. Oh, he participated.
Even if he was healthy, look at his last 2 games, 2.2
Yeah.
and 5.4.
Yeah, he's not doing too hot. And Thielen, he's average, but I would take both of them over Jared Judy and Singletary. I think actually out of these 4, Singletary is going to be scoring the most points. Overall, I think I'm gonna have to go with Nate.
Yeah, I think that's a fair overall evaluation. But like for me, Nate's team is reliant on Cup and Diggs performing. And yeah, it's hard to bet against them like week to week. But I do think that like every so often they're gonna have like games where they take a step back. And Cup is coming off of a 16-point performance, which like for his standards is like pretty low. And Diggs is coming off a 30-point performance, which also for his standards, like if you look at like what he's been dropping week to week, like although he's like been a superstar, he is kind of inconsistent. He literally ranges from 10 points to 44. So like I do think that there's potential for those like his 2 stars, which his whole team relies on, to take a little bit of a step back. Like I think that Green Bay's defense is going to get worked just because it's the Bills, but I do think that like they are still going to like I think that Rodgers is telling that whole team that they fucking suck and they have to like get their shit together and win because he's Rodgers and he says shit like that. And I think that the Rams are gonna like get caught off guard against the Niners. I think the Niners defense is actually gonna be juiced now that CMC is starting to like work his way into the offense. So we'll see. Like just my instinct is that those receivers are gonna like falter a little bit this week, which they're still gonna outscore fucking DJ Moore and Alan Lazard, but I think it opens a small window for Quen. So yeah, I think Derrick Henry's been balling it out. Like he actually looks like who he should be, and he consistently drops huge numbers against Houston. Like he always dominates against Houston. I saw a post today that like the last 3 games against Houston, he averaged like 30 points a game or some shit like that.
Wow.
So I think that he's going to continue to do so against Houston. They're not a good team, even though they have like pretty good players in Dameon Pierce and whatnot. But yeah, I think that because Nate's receivers could take a step back, it opens a window for Quen. Tom Brady isn't going to be like great, but he's going to do enough. Derrick Henry's going to carry his running back core. The receivers are probably they're not going to come close to Cup and Diggs. But yeah, like Hayden Hurst and Kittle might be close because who knows? Kittle is literally every single week 1 cut away from getting injured again. And yeah, so I think it's going to be a really close matchup. So I think that Quentin just ekes this one out by a little bit, which is nice. I think that both of the 1-6 teams end up 2-6. You know, save a little bit of face. But yeah, I think this is going to be a big upset. Save the best for last, right?
Ooh.
First in the East versus last in the West.
Let's see if I win this game.
Yeah, that really shows how the East is right now, dude. They're kind of down bad.
Now, so I've been looking at this matchup like all week.
Yeah.
Like even last week I was looking at this matchup.
So we're going to get some good analysis.
Josh Allen is going against Green Bay.
Yep.
I don't think Green Bay defense is not going to be able to stop Josh Allen.
Okay.
And they're not going to be able to keep up with him.
Yeah.
This is a game where Josh Allen gets benched by the 3rd quarter. Now, when he does get benched, he's already dropped 30 points.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, the last 2 games, he's dropped 35 and 42.
That's a lot.
And they're going against the Browns. So I think Joe Burrow might outscore Josh Allen by a little bit, by like 5 points here and there.
Yeah,
Now,
division matchups are always a bloodbath.
Yeah. Now, Jonathan Taylor, he played last week. He was decent. He didn't get any touchdowns, but he scored about like 16 points. And then Leonard Fournette, which I think he's the stronger guy between the two, but this offense has just been horrible. Like, he only scored 5 points last week.
Yeah.
Compared to 24 and then 37. So if he has a low week, especially with that Baltimore defense stopping the runs, I think it's going to be great for me. Now, Alvin Kamara. What the Dude, this guy is getting like 20 points average.
Yep.
The last 3 weeks, he's gotten 25, 20, and 18. This whole season, the man hasn't gotten a single fucking touchdown.
That's crazy.
At all.
I did not know that.
Dalton decided at 4 yards away from the goal, he decided to pass the ball instead of running it.
Give it to your best
which
player.
It makes me cry every time.
Makes you cry as an Alvin owner, but does it make you cry as a Saints fan?
A little bit. A little bit. I'd rather see Taysom run it. Now, Joe Mixon, he's been pretty consistent. I'm looking at, against the Cleveland game, I think I'm looking at 17 points from him. This matchups, the Fournette is the coin flip here, which will decide if my running backs do better than his two or not.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I'm gonna go with the consistent guys.
You could argue that JT is actually a flex play, and Josh Jacobs is actually the number one on Seni's team at this point.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah,
we'll get to that.
I'm just saying.
Because I got one for him too.
Yeah,
now,
that's true.
Tyreek Hill and St. Brown. I thought St. Brown had a concussion. Oh, he was limited in practice. Okay, so looks like he's gonna play. It depends if Goff wants to step it up and feed him. So far, he hasn't been doing too hot. I hope he stays doing that, and I think he will. Tyreek Hill, however, he dropped 14 points with Tua easing in. I think Tua takes another step forward, and he's gonna get 20 points.
Yeah.
My receivers.
Dude, rest in peace, Mike Williams. Prayers up.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Hey, 4 weeks though.
Yeah, that's surprising considering how bad his leg fucking looked that game. I don't know if you saw the injury, but it looked gnarly.
I saw it.
Yeah.
It was tough. And I got Mike Evans, so again, it depends on Tampa Bay offense. And this guy dropped a open fucking touchdown pass last week, which pissed me the fuck off. It pissed me off.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, complete drop.
It was sad.
Brady was probably pissed.
Gabriel Davis, I think he's going to drop 18, 20 points. Especially, I can't even name any cornerbacks on Green Bay at all. And I think he's just going to be left wide open and he's just going to zoom past them. Tight ends, TJ Hawk. I think his stats are overinflated with a 40-point game.
Yeah, definitely.
And I will go with my tight end on a shittier offense that's been a little bit more consistent than him.
Definitely.
But just a small margin. Now, let's talk about the Josh Jacobs dropping fucking 30 points every fucking week now, making it a norm. What the
I don't know
fuck?
What's going on with him.
So, if this was earlier in the season, I would say, oh, I am not worried about this guy. He's going against the Saints defense. We stopped the run.
Yep.
We haven't been looking the same. I mean, we're still pretty good stopping the run, but not as much. I don't think he's going to be getting 150 rushing yards.
Yeah.
But he's going to get 100 yards. So
still
5 points
week,
left. Yeah. Now,
he does have a foot injury right now, though. So he's going to play, but maybe that.
Now, you were saying he should be in the running back starting lineup. I got someone that is in the same caliber. I dropped 31 points last week. Kenneth Walker. Yeah, give me shit. Yeah, you can't predict injuries, Penny. Yeah, okay, he's fucking injury prone. Go look at his fucking history.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker destroyed the Chargers.
Walker Walker set a record in the NFL for this season for running the fastest at 22.08 miles per hour. If that is not fast, I don't know what the fuck is.
That's breaking the speed limit in an elementary school zone.
This guy, I think he's going to do amazing against the Giants.
Yeah.
Now, the other two, Miles Sanders and Michael Thomas, I don't like Miles Sanders, but I don't know what the fuck's been going on this season. Look, he dropped 13, then 6, then 32, then 9, then 16. I think he's dropping 7 here. So,
yeah,
especially against Pittsburgh.
Is he actually healthy? Like
Thomas?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? He might not even play.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he doesn't play,
you better be monitoring that, bro.
Oh yeah. Look, it's not a 6:30 game where I'm in Vegas and I went to sleep at 5 and the news comes out at 5:10. That should be a win. Can we get a poll so I can get that win, please? Jonny gets his way, Madhav gets his way. Just one time in the last half decade, just one win. That's all I'm asking. I haven't even said fraud that much this year.
That's true.
Doesn't that count for something? If on the off chance he doesn't play, it would either be Lockett. Yeah, it's probably just going to be Lockett.
Yeah.
I don't have... Or, no, actually, Devontae Foreman.
Yeah.
Foreman got 18 points with that.
That was some really nice overall insight, but I want to hear who you think is going to win.
I think I'm going to weasel my way through in this fucking win.
Damn, keep the streak going. Keep your season alive. That's a good takeaway. So I think that you did a really good job going through everything, so I don't have much to add on to this. But I will give a couple of my takes. So firstly, I think that this Buffalo-Green Bay game might be closer than you think. I don't think that it's going to be a Buffalo one-sided blowout. I think it's going to be close, and Josh Allen's going to end up playing all 4 quarters. So I think that that's going to be only good for Seneca.
Well, I have Gabriel Davis.
It's true. It's true. But I'm just saying, strictly looking from the quarterback perspective, I could see Josh Allen going crazy this game, like a close to 40-point game. But that's just my instinct. I do think that Seneca's running backs are overprojected. 19 seems a lot for JT, who's been underperforming, but I think it's just the name. ESPN sees the name, they're put fucking 20 points. It's just, I don't know. I don't see him dropping necessarily that much. It is against the Commanders, so it's possible, but to say that it's a given, I don't know. And then, at receivers, Tyreek is going to go crazy against the Lions. But you're right. I do think Gabe Davis could have a big game in what could be a shootout against Green Bay. So I just look at it overall, and I think back and forth, you and Seneca shot punch for punch, it's close. But in my eyes, I stare at this whole board of players, and there's one person that catches my eye, and you were already high on him, Kenneth Walker, man. This man's Walker, but dude can run. And he's been going crazy. I saw it firsthand against the Chargers. Rest in peace, my team. I'm glad we could have a bye week to recover from what he did to us. But I saw it myself. He has a lot of talent. I think Manning knows this. Manning's happy. But you see the progressions. Not part of the offense. Then 3-4 carries. Okay, let's ramp it up to 8. Get 16 points. Let's ramp it up to 20. Gets 20 points. Let's get more carries than 20. 30 points. He's just gonna keep getting fed. And with Penny out, he's just gonna keep getting fed. And he has a nice slate of defenses to go against: Giants, Cardinals, Bucks in the coming 3 weeks. Those are teams you could take advantage of. And if Geno keeps balling the way he's been balling and Seahawks can get a lead, then they're just going to feed Kenneth and bleed the clock. And because of that, I think that you have a gem, like just like a diamond in the rough here. Like a potential, like if we just look at his games from last week to the end of the season, I think that he could end up being like a top 5, top 3 potentially guy. If he got more in the receiving game, I would say for sure. That's the only thing I think he lacks, but I mean, I don't think you could ask for any more in a guy that you're sticking in your flex. Jacobs has that foot injury. I think that Walker outscores Jacobs, and Jacobs has been going crazy. So I think that's the one guy that makes a big difference here, and I think you actually take down Seneca. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, I mean Quentin's 1-6 right now. What a fitting farewell tour for our commissioner. He's gonna go out like this. I don't think that's what he was wanting, but can't all go out like Peyton Manning. So yeah, overall, good luck, guys. I hope the West loses for the most part this week.
Please. Good luck to everyone. No more injuries.
Yeah.
I say it as a joke. I'll break his leg, but I won't say it this week because we had 42 injuries this week.
That's a lot.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Hope everyone stays healthy.
So,
yeah.
As an actor, break a leg. Good luck. Not literally. But good luck to everyone. And West, I hope you guys all have one of your lowest scoring weeks.
Yes. Amen to that.
Give me your